Anyone that did not get their exam back? Last name? I couldn't hear you. Faith Gregory, Madison James, Kelsey Thompson. Bella went for a walk outside and saw some snails. So this is your homework that's due on Sunday. Since we didn't go over it yet, I didn't put a group assignment on there. I thought it was more important to make sure you actually did. And this is a chart she made of the animals that she saw. How many fox did she see? 5. There's the fox. If you go up, it's 5. What's the mode? Okay, let's first think about, is this data qualitative or quantitative? Qualitative, because it's not a number. It's the type of animal she saw. So when you're giving the mode, you want to give the animal and not the number. So the mode, she saw the deer the most, so the mode is deer. Because she saw more deer than any other animal. Of the 4 different animals, how many did we see in total? What do we have to do? She saw 4 different animals, but to see the total number, you would add them. So it would be 5, 5, 3, and 9. About 22 animals. Any questions on the bar graph? Number 2. This is a histogram. So the data is continuous. And it's a numerical, so it's quantitative. How many students were in the sample? How many people were in the study? This is the number of hours spent. There's actually 25 in the study, but it's not coming from here. It's coming from adding these up. So 2 plus 3 plus 4, 7 and 9. So do be careful of that. The 25 wasn't from the x-axis, it was counting each bar's height, because this is number of students. What's the mode? Histogram's a little bit different when you're finding the mode. It's still the tallest bar, but we don't know what values were in there. So it's a range of values. The mode is 20 to 25 hours. These are the types of questions I would ask for an exam. How many students spent 25 hours playing video games? None of them. Exactly. This is probably one of the most missed questions on a test. You want to be careful. This histogram, this first bar goes from 0 up to, but not including 5. 5 goes into the next one. So this is 5 up to, but not including 10. 25, then if there were any, we'd need another bar because this is 20 up to, but not including 25. Any questions on that? There were 200 traffic accidents in this survey. Leading cause of traffic accidents in 2008. What's the mode? Well, first of all, is this qualitative or quantitative data? Think of the outcome. It's the causes of the accidents: drunk driving, cell phones, speeding. Those are qualitative. So this data is qualitative. So when you answer the mode, it will be a qualitative answer. And it's just the largest one. The largest is the red, it's 43%. So the mode is cell phones and distraction. Mode is the one measurement that we can find whether it's qualitative or quantitative. Mean, median, range, it needs to be quantitative. How many were caused by drunk driving? Not the percent, the number. Think about how you would find that. 12% were caused by drunk driving. Well, you also need the total that were in the survey. So 12% of the 200 accidents, of means multiply, percent needs written as a decimal. So it's 12% written as a decimal. UG means multiply the 200 in the survey. You get 24. So 24 of the 200 accidents were caused because of drunk driving. Any questions on that? So can everyone see these? Or have it on the computer? Okay, baseball throwing distance. This is the stem and this is the leaves. So the shortest in feet was 20 feet. 23 feet, and then there was one that was 25 feet. How would we find the mean? Got to add them all up. Add all of them up and divide by how many there are. So go ahead and find the mean, the median, and the mode. I rounded to the 10th. You should normally go one decimal place further than your data. Since these are all ones position, you'd round to the 10th. Anyone want to say what they got for the mean? When you added, did you get 1, 2, 3, 4? And there was 23. That was everyone got. Median. How do we find the median? Middle number. There's 23. They are in order, but if it's easier to look at them in a row, then you can write them out. But they are in order 20, 23, 25. So there's 23 of them, which means we'll have one right in the middle. So there should be 11 on each side and then the one in the middle. So we can count 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 53. When you're counting though on a stem and leaf, you want to make sure you start here, go across, start here and go across. Because this would be in the next smallest. So 53. 11 on both sides. If we were going to do the box plot with this, I would definitely put it all in order. It's easier. So What's the mode? Anyone? Do any of them repeat? Mm-mm. So there's no mode. Don't put zero because someone could have dropped it and it didn't go far at all and they marked it as zero. So for the mode, it would be none. It would not be zero because zero can be in your data. But it's none because none of them repeat. Remember, that's the one where you could have none, one answer, or many answers. How many threw in the hundreds? Up to. There was 102 and 105. Any questions on that? Pause. This was a student's studying habits and how many facts they got right. And it shows why you should study a few days before. Because a lot of times from day one that you study to day two, you may only remember one more unit. Whereas when you go notice the next one, there's a big jump there. So you have to write a few sentences to explain the graph. Oh no, what's something we could say? The largest jump was from what, 2 days? 2 to 3 days was the largest jump in memory or remembering items. Notice it's always increasing. They never lost material. Although, you know, the 3 they remembered here may not be 3 of the 4 they remembered here. You might have forgot one, remembered something else. So you want to write at least 3 things talking about the graph. Any questions? So going up is the number of facts that they recalled. Going across is the day number that they checked the facts. Any questions? The graphs, well, normally some students print these, but if you're just doing it on paper, just put your graph right with the problems. Use the qualitative data to draw a bar graph and a pie chart. These were the favorite rides at an amusement park, and this was the number of people who chose each of those rides. How do we find the percent? What do we first need to know before we can find the percent? How many people? So we can add this up and find out how many people were in the survey. Oh, I just realized that says 7 through 9, but I took one out. So it's 6 through 8. So there's 200 in the survey. Find the percent then. You take how many are in that group divided by the total. This would be 60 divided by 200 and then multiply by 100 to make it a percent. Equals 30. $12.5. $17.5. I'll probably have the answer for you. Any questions on finding those? Now, notice if we rounded, this would have rounded to 13, this would have rounded to 18, and when we added, it wouldn't add to 100, which is fine. So depending on rounding, you could come a little over 100, you could come a little short. But if we would round that to 18 and that to 13, then we're gonna add to 101 instead of 100. And that's because of rounding. And that's fine. Any questions on that? Bar graph. Remember, a bar graph, order doesn't matter. You could do your bars horizontally or vertically. I always do mine vertically, so then the frequency would go this way. So the first one, roller coaster, was 60. Ferris wheel, 25. So it should look something like that. When we finish, not the next chapter, but the following one, there's a project you're gonna be doing, and you'll have to do a bar graph and a pie chart, but it won't be by hand. Probably on the take home part of the test you'll have to draw 'em. Any questions on the bar graph? So the bar graph uses your frequency, where the pie chart uses the percents. You just like the car accident one, you write your percents. You want to have them close, like 15, 17, and 12 will be close. A quarter, we know a quarter of a circle. 30 is a little more than the quarter. So I would probably do my quarter first. That was the bumper cars. This would be another quarter, and the roller coaster was a little bit bigger than that. And they're all pretty close. I'd probably pick the smallest one for my smaller pie, which was the 12.5. Any questions on that? So it doesn't need to be exact when you're hand drawing it. Use the data below to graph a stem and leaf and a box plot. Also, given the standard deviation is 11, graph the bell-shaped curve. Be sure to put the percents inside. Okay, if we look at our data, we're going from 9, I think is the smallest, to in the 40s. 50, there's a 50. The following are test scores of your, well, this one wasn't your class, it was last semester, but. So our scores go from 0 to 50. And remember a stem and leaf? The leaf is the rightmost digit. Our right is going to be the ones position. Well, we have one then that's a 9. So the 10's position was a 0. So we start at 0. And I think the highest was 50. Now, if there was, say there was none in the 30s, you would still have to list that 3, remember, but there was one. I think there was grades on all of them. There's only one that was below the 10s, and that was a 9. There was 2 that were in the 10s. There was a 17 and an 18. Then you'd find all the 20s, but you want to make sure you're putting them in order. So you'd find all your 20 first, and I think there was only one. There's no 21s, no 22s. There's 2 23s. 1, 2. And find the rest of them. Any questions on how we're finding the value? I would just leave these and not put them in, but we need them for the next part of the problem. I think you can find them all. Oops, there's only 3 50s. I don't know how to. Questions on that? To graph a box plot, you need the 5-number summary. Remember, it's the smallest number, largest, lower quartile, median, upper quartile. box plot. Any questions so far? A box plot and the bell-shaped curve will be on the in-class portion. You'll have to graph them. Everything else, I think the graphs will be there. Do the median first. The median's your middle value. Say how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 40. So the middle is an even. So we have to take the two middle values, add them together. I believe it's right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And then if you count 1, 2, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 on each side. So the middle is between those two eights. So it's 38 and 38. Which is any questions on that part? So now we take everything below this line. So it would be all of those and find the middle. Well, we said there was 20 on each side, so it's going to be between the two middle of those, which means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Should be right here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you don't have to write them all out. Stemleaf's a nice way of condensing the data. 27 and 28. $27.5. Again, it'll be 10. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 45. Question on that. So to do a box plot, you just put a vertical line on each one of those 5 numbers that you just found. So 9. I counted my 5s. On a test, this number line will be there. So you draw a vertical line at each one of those. Connect the middle. The whiskers out to the side. Any questions on that? For the bell shape or the normal curve, you need the mean and the standard deviation. I gave you the standard deviation. How do we find the mean? If you tell me how, I won't make you do it. I'll give you it. And you have to talk loud so I can hear. How do you find the mean? Everyone thinks you add all of them up and you divide by how many there are. We said there was 40, and if you add them up and divide, you'll get approximately, I rounded it to 36. You get 36.225. You're doing a normal curve. The lines that go out, they don't touch because it can keep going. Your mean goes in the middle. And then you count 3 units each way. The units we're counting by is our standard deviation. So 36 goes in the middle. Find the other numbers using the standard deviation. You're counting by 11. Those percents will always be the same. You need to memorize them for the next exam, which is in a couple of weeks. Now I forget when. So these percents are always the same for our course. If you Google it, there's like 3 different variations, but this is what your book uses. So counting by 11, 36 plus 11, 47. Add another 11, 58 and 69. Is that the values you got? The other way, you're subtracting 11. 36 minus 11, 25. Plus another 11, 14, and 3. So the middle 68.2% was between 25 and a 47 out of 50. Any questions on drawing the graph? A timeline, your time goes on the bottom. In this case, the time was years. And number of tornadoes goes up. Now for each year, you just put a point at where it went. Like the first one went to 12. (2004) 2004 went to 12, so it'll be right below that. 36. Four, 8, 13. And then you connect them. So there was a large increase in tornadoes from 2004 to 2005, but then the following year there was a big drop in the number of tornadoes that year. Any questions on that? Awesome. If you do not have any questions, have a great weekend. I'll see you on Monday.